Okay, hi guys. This is my little video in case I cannot be attending the Zoom meeting tonight. I'm planning on making it, but I am not 100% sure if I will be able to yet or not. So I wanted to give you guys an overview of my presentation since that's what we're doing tonight. So I was going to do a screen recording with my PowerPoint, but then I was like, it's just easier for me to film myself and then show you guys anything that I have on my PowerPoint. So for my personal choice project, I chose to do manipulatives in math. So basically this was researching 5 or more manipulatives and explaining classroom use and how they can be used in centers and how they can be used in the classroom just in an everyday setting. So I chose actually 6 different manipulatives across 6 different grade levels, just so that we can get a good idea of across grade levels and some different ideas that you can use. And so I also did a research paper. So part of this was a 2-page research paper that was highlighting the importance of manipulatives. So I'll share a little bit about that too. But the first thing that I wrote about are why are manipulatives important? So manipulatives are an effective hands-on way for students to learn math concepts. And then I went through and listed 4 different reasons of why manipulatives are great to use in the classroom. And then I also mentioned how I have a 3-page research paper describing in detail the benefits and uses of manipulatives. So I talked about why they're important, and then I wrote about why I chose this topic in my PowerPoint presentation. So I chose to do research about this because I'm a huge believer in tactile experiences for students in any subject, but specifically math because it makes abstract concepts concrete, which I'll talk about in a little bit. So they are a fun and engaging way to help students understand the why of math and how it works, so they can take an idea that's on paper and then see how it actually translates and why it works out the way that it does. And then I described how researching this topic will make me a better teacher all around, even if I'm not utilizing it all the time right now since I'm a reading interventionist. But it is really important for me to know that because they've been talking about incorporating math into interventions into my position. So either way, even if I become a regular classroom teacher, this is really important to be able to know how to use those and why they work. So I talked about how to incorporate manipulatives. They can be in math centers through explicit instruction, small group instruction, and then tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 interventions in the classroom. And then I got into the examples. So the first one that I talked about was 10 frames with counters. Students, I aligned this with the kindergarten standard because they need to be able to recognize 1 of 10 objects just by looking at it instead of counting. And then in each slide of what I talk about, which I'm not going to go into detail because we're not presenting the whole thing, I talked about how it can be used in the classroom. And then I also included a video on this specific slide on the uses of 10 frames and some other manipulatives in the classroom. So that was my first one. The second one was cups with counting bears, which we have used pretty much all of these in class since people brought these in. So these can be used for addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, but I aligned it to a addition and subtraction standard in 1st grade. So students can use these to separate and add or subtract different quantities, and it's really nice because teachers can use this for a variety of equations and have it work. The third example was base 10 blocks. These are all really great uses for centers. I aligned it with a 2nd grade standard. They need to understand how the digits of a 3-digit number represent hundreds, tens, and ones. And so I included a little picture in all of these, but I included a picture on this one to show like what the different things look like. It's not letting me turn around my screen, but hopefully you guys can see that. So I used that. And then example 4 was play money in 3rd grade. This is a really great way to incorporate a classroom economy. And then students are learning math with money, how to divvy up different types of cents, how to divvy up pennies, nickels, dimes, quarters, all of that. And this is a great way to also incorporate it into like economics and social studies. So it's a cross-curricular activity. And then fraction tiles is my fifth example. This was for a fourth grade standard. They need to be able to explain why a fraction is equivalent to another fraction by using visual fraction models. So this, I forget who it was that brought these in, but these are visual fraction models that you can use to represent how different fractions are equal to each other. And then the other one was pattern blocks. So in the academic standard for fifth grade, these are typically used in lower grades, but I chose them for more advanced grades because teachers can print out whatever shapes they want, and then they can have students divide these into categories by property or by angle or different things like that. So that was the gist of my PowerPoint. And then I also submitted the research paper. And I basically cited an article from Scholastic for Parents that was highlighting the reasons for manipulatives. The first reason that it highlighted why they are important is that they take things that are abstract and make them concrete, and then they're able to tactilely learn a concept. Reason number two is that they help lift math off of textbook pages, so it helps make it more relatable for students. The third reason is it helps students build their confidence in reasoning and helps them confirm their thinking in a concrete way. So if they're looking at this, they're like, oh, that's why I got that number. So it helps them build their math confidence. And then the fourth reason is that they are useful tools for solving problems because students that when they initially look at a problem and they're learning it, they can't mentally do it. So it helps them see the why. And then the fifth reason for using it is it makes it more fun and enjoyable for students because they love doing hands-on activities and things. And I lastly gave my opinion, and I said, ultimately, it's important to remember that while manipulatives may seem like a longer route to teaching mathematics, it actually builds that foundation as they go. So it helps students understand the why behind that. So that is my project, and it was a really great one. I felt really confident after researching everything. I found some great resources along the way. So I'm hoping I won't have to show you this, and I'll be in Zoom meeting tonight, but we will see. So I hope you guys have a great class.